Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing. It's Tuesday night, and we're here in Baku, Azerbaijan, for round number 7 of the Silver Class Championship. We've got 12 rounds in this season. We are round number 7. But welcome to the 6-kilometer circuit, 20 turns. It's a street circuit in the downtown of Baku. But the TCR lap record is a 140.1. We'll be looking out for those times. Ooh, and Kruner, as we just see him hit the wall during his first attempt at a flying lap. 26 laps tonight. We do run 50% distance here in TCR. And for the corner cutting rules, we are running strict tonight. One of the few tracks that we do run strict on, just because it is a city circuit, and the limits kind of speak for themselves. As you can see, walls all the way around the track. There's no relaxation in the drivers as they make their way through the circuit. Kruner currently going through the castle section, which has made a name for itself in recent years. But I am 007 Professional, your main commentary for tonight. Sitting alongside me in the commentary box is my good colleague Chatty Duck. Chatty, how are you? And welcome to Baku.
Yeah, thanks 007. I'm doing well. We've gone past the halfway stage in this shortened season here in season 11 of TCR, and Baku, one of the newer additions to the Formula One calendar, was quite a controversial track, I think, at first, just because it didn't have great racing, but over the years it's really grown a name for itself, and it's a super challenging circuit to drive. Sort of a it's a street circuit, and it has all the usual street circuit elements of very tight, narrow straights and corners, but also the super long pit straight here means that overtaking is actually quite possible, and that you will also see much higher top speeds here than you would expect at the likes of Monaco or Singapore, or even Hungary, which has been considered in the past to be like another street circuit. So we could well be in for some great racing tonight, even with the slightly lower numbers in the field, 15 drivers for this race tonight. But hopefully that doesn't detract from the action on track.
Yeah, a little low on the numbers tonight. As you said, only 15. But I think we're in for a great race. This track, for some reason, always provides really good racing. 2018 in real life brings back memories of, I think it was Verstappen and Ricciardo just, obviously making a scene and into turn 1. But yeah, the drivers are going to have a huge task with avoiding the walls. I mean, this track has an insane top speed. As you said, the front straight is one of the longest in F1 and can really provide a lot of overtaking. But then you have the castle section in the middle, where Fire Flow is currently heading towards, but extremely narrow, really tight, really slow, just a place where you would need a lot of medium and high speed downforce. But then obviously, around the last corner, you don't want that. You want, literally no wings and just a hit your top speed on the front straight. So a really difficult balance the drivers have to kind of deal with today. So can't wait to see that.
Yeah, and we see some of the lap times that have already been set, ranging from a 138.7 to Bamboo, and then Nico John is set at 141.8. So it's quite a long lap here in terms of time. But because of that front straight, the way that it is, if you think about a racetrack in terms of like the times when you're cornering and stuff, that's when you need the most attention and focus. You could probably say that a lap here in a way is really about a 120, because that front straight is so long, and it's almost a breather for the drivers to sort of gather themselves for a lap around here and get ready to go again. As just watching Stephen coming through the castle section. And the castle section, I always feel when I'm not the one driving through there, I'm always like, how are you not hitting the walls through there? Because it's just insanely narrow.
It's so close. Like, how can they? Yeah. It just. I'm watching, Nip Stephen. I'm on board with him as well, and he's so close to the wall. It's like he's just rubbing his wheels against the wall for, But yeah, he's the driver, and we're just the commentators. So, what do we know?
Yeah, but it's funny though when you're driving the car yourself, you just I don't know, you almost don't notice the barriers in a way that are as close as they are, especially when you do find a rhythm.
Yeah,
And sort of
it's like tunnel
tunnel
vision.
vision.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that. That's hilarious how we both said it at the same time. No, it's exactly like tunnel vision, and you're so focused on something that's a bit farther away from your front wing or your helmet, for example. So you don't really notice everything around you. Just kind of, I guess, glides past, and that's that. But yeah, racing drivers are a different kind of breed, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And well, another driver who I saw was Gottlieb Weeb, who was on a lap earlier, but he actually hit the wall in the sort of the chicane. I suppose you could call it a chicane before that straight. That is flat out the left right, and that's actually
Oh, yeah.
harder than it might seem to get to go perfectly through there with the line, because again, when you're maximizing the extent of the track, if you get it slightly wrong through there, you are going to hit the wall. There's no ways around that. And for Kono on his previous lap, not Kono, sorry, for Gottlieb Weeb on his previous lap, it resulted in him losing his front wing. So he's now starting his first actual flying lap of the qualifying session on the soft tyres.
Yes, just on board with them now, and he passed a Haas, I think, of Nico John, one of our reserves tonight. Well, we'll see how Gottlieb Weeb gets on with his lap. Brakes really late, and there's a car stopped in the little runoff there. So I don't really know what happened. I think just waiting for Gottlieb Weeb to get past. But so far, so good. He's taken every corner really, really well. Braking at the last possible moment, and there it just brakes too late. I think I might have commentator cursed him. So that lap is completely gone. Well, not completely gone, but he's lost quite a lot of time. He brakes heavily into what starts the castle section, running a little bit wide, but tries to get a good exit out of that back end, just wanting to step out as much as it can, and barely avoids that little kink on the right, that little yellow bump there, but does nicely to avoid that. We are running strict corner cuts, so I think that did invalidate him running a little bit too wide on the exit, just on corner, I mean, God knows what it is, 12, I think, or, yeah, corner 12. So he'll have to box and put on a new pair of shoes and go again.
Yeah, and that was it was Nip Stephen actually in the Mercedes who had gone into that runoff area at the end of turn 3. But he's just on his out lap at the moment, so he didn't ruin his lap or anything, and he is coming through the last sector at the moment, about to start his flying lap as Gottlieb Weeb once again comes into the pits.
On board with Bamboo, just under 7 minutes to go. Bamboo's currently sitting in P1 with a 38.7. I guess that's fast because he is in pole right now, or provisional pole. Wiener Drink with an impressive 39.0 with Rockstar bringing up the second Williams. And Williams having another great qualifying. We saw that last week. So it's nice to see them up there again. But Bamboo currently on a flyer, almost 2/10 up on his lap on the first sector alone. And here comes the difficult bit. Braking hard into this tight right-hander, don't know the corner number, and into the castle section right here, left, and then avoid the little wall on the right, and then a right-left onto momentarily a flat-out section. Into the really difficult part, turn 15, where if you cut just enough curb, you can gain quite a lot of time, but if you hit the curb wrong, as we've seen with other drivers, you can definitely hit the wall, and he avoids it almost completely and gets a really nice run down into turn 16, which then leads on to, one of the longest straights in F1. And Chad, you were saying this part right here, I think, where it goes left, right, this part is really, really difficult to get because just one movement of the wheel too soon or too late, and you can be ending up in the wall with a wheel or two off. And then here you're just waiting and waiting and waiting to get across the line. You're thinking, come on, hurry up, and Bamboo sets a 38. What is that? A 38.2. Almost 5/10 up from his previous lap, so demolishes his previous time and the rest of the field as well.
Yeah, amazing job from Bamboo once again, as Pruno actually slotted himself into second place for the time being as well, but he's 0.8 of a second off the time of his teammate We're just seeing Bamboo at the moment in this season, just going to another level with his times and his general maturity with races. He's really the class act in silver at the moment. And just interesting to mention actually about Wienerdrank, who's just coming up to the line now and maybe improves ever so slightly by half a tenth.
That's nice.
That takes P2 off of Krooner for the time being. And he is relatively new to silver class. He's only done a couple of races, but in Silverstone, in the last round for the British Grand Prix, he actually finished second in the race. So he is doing an impressive job at the moment of really mixing it with the best guys, you know, up at the front, like Bamboo. So it'll be interesting to see, once again, if he can really stamp his authority in this class as being one of the better drivers, and judging by his current grid position,
he is
set to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good that you mentioned that, because I kind of had overlooked that slightly, but yeah, he's putting in a great performance. Nip Steven on a qualifying lap at the moment, and he had to avoid a Ferrari. There was a Ferrari wing just kind of left at the castle section. Reminded me of Leclerc also from last year or 2 years ago when he crashed in qualifying. I think that was the wing of Mako, who is making his way very, very slowly through Sector 3 and probably into the pits. Put on the last set of tires to go again. Nip Steven, though, can only manage P8, but he is on the medium tires. So, God, I would think if he put on the soft tires, he'd be up in the P3, P4 area.
Yeah, probably, knowing his pace, but does he have time to get back out at this stage? I guess he would have to do it very quickly.
If he hurries, he can probably get another lap in.
Yeah, because I don't feel that being further down the order on the medium tyres is going to be that much of an advantage around this track, to be honest.
Especially if there's a safety car, or, I mean, you're just going to get backed up so much, you know, in the castle section and in the slow parts of the track. So I'm not sure if the medium tire would be the ideal tire to go on at the start of this race, and that's something different than we've seen from a lot of previous races this season. You know, where the medium tire outside the top 10 was the strategy to go for, or the fastest overall.
Yeah, agreed. And now Nip Steven is on an outlap, and Mako, I think he's staying in the pits, but I think he was on the mediums as well. Yeah, so his time was on the medium tyres. And also Gotney Weeb, it looks like it's going to be third time lucky for him in terms of setting a lap time, because he's coming up to the line right now, and that's a 139.7, which
so
puts
P6.
him just behind his teammate in 6th place.
It's a pretty strong quali for the AlphaTauri guys, P5 and P6, so I'm sure they'll be happy with that. Fire Up Flow looks like he has one more attempt, and I see that those two quite close on track. I don't know if they're going to slipstream down the front straight. That's not a bad idea, isn't it? You get a lot of draft, a lot of tow. So maybe Fire Up Flow can get in the top 3.
Yeah, and I noticed the Mercedes drivers on the track map are quite close to each other as well in the second sector. I don't know who's in the front of that and who's behind. It's Kono ahead of Nip Steven, so maybe Kono is going to give Nip Steven a tow. It doesn't look like it though. Nip Steven has backed off quite a lot to give himself some room, so I don't think they are going to utilise that strategy.
Look at the Williams guys. Rockstar is currently on his flying lap. I'm on board with them right now. Runs a little wide there at turn 14 or 15. But Wienerdrank is right behind him. So I'm wondering if when Rockstar finishes his lap, he's going to tow Wienerdrank down the front straight. I mean,
potentially.
Well, maybe, because Wienerdrank's going to have to get a move on if he's going to stay in the tow, which I don't think he is. So that might be an opportunity wasted by Williams. That could have worked out beautifully, actually, I think.
I'm just seeing Fire Upflow has actually, well, unless my timing screen is wrong, Fire Upflow is too late to start his flying lap because my qualifying time
He
says 0.
Mine does too, but it looks like he's still okay to go. This is very odd.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, I suppose.
Yeah, Michelle.
Give it a couple of minutes.
Look at the traffic though in Sector 2.
There's a huge amount of cars there. Kono is backed off. I think he was trying to set a time. Nip Stephen is half a second up on his previous best through the first sector, and is getting close to the second sector checkpoint at the moment. Looked like he was going to go a bit deep into that corner. I can't remember the name of it, but he's 1.5 seconds up.
Who?
On his time. Nip Stephen.
Oh god.
Coming through the third sector.
He's got to be on softs.
Oh yeah, he's on the soft tyres, yep, definitely. But this could catapult him up towards the front row of the grid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
and
only P6? P7 now. Sierra, look at Sierra, P2 in the Alfa Romeo, that's awesome. Oh, P3 now. Look, Crooner jumps him into P2 at the 38.8. The times are dropping like mad. Who's next across the line?
It's a
AlphaTauri, yeah. Got any weeb? No, it's Fire Upflow.
Oh no, they're pitting
no,
actually.
They're pitting, yeah. Bamboo, 38.0. Just and the Mako, look at Mako, one of the reserve drivers tonight, gets in with a 38.6 in P2.
Wow, what a lap from the reserve driver.
Yeah, absolutely. What a change in standings the last 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, really nice to see those times coming down. And Drank and Rockstar moved from potentially being second and third, I think, or second and fourth, to being on the third row of the grid together. So those late improvements have cost them a few positions.
Yeah. Times are tight though. From P3 Crooner 38.8 to Nip Stephen in P8. It's just about 3.5 tenths.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Nip Stephen seemed to lose a bit of time in that third sector, which is really a flat-out section. So I don't know if he was running low on fuel
or even
ERS.
That, or he may have gotten a super poor exit from turn 16.
Yeah, because, that's true.
I mean, if you remember when, I think it was back in 2018, I think, when Kimi Räikkönen almost had pole, and he was purple in the first two sectors, and he got a bit of snap oversteer at the exit of turn 16, and just lost all that momentum down those next, few corners. So anyway, qualifying results. You want to take it, Chatty?
Yep. So we've got Bamboo on pole position from Mako in second in the Ferrari, then Crooner and Sierra on the second row, Drank and Rockstar, the Williams teammates, on the third row, Gotney Weeb and Nip Stephen, 7th and 8th, then Fire Upflow and Blim Machine in 10th, El Capitan and Juan in 11th and 12th, and then you've got Kono and Nico John, 13th, 14th. Tafour in 15th place, did not set a lap time.
Beautiful timing there. Finished that right as the screen
see
changed.
The countdown coming. I had to get a move on.
Yeah, that's funny. Let's go over some standings, actually. Let's go over the current Drivers' Championship standings. So, Bamboo, our pole sitter for today, currently sitting in P1 with 113 points. We have a Granty Boy who is not here tonight, and I guess we'll update you guys on where he's been last week and this week, but hopefully he'll be back next week. Sitting on 88 points. Gotney Weeb's currently P3 with 60 points. His teammate Fire Upflow with 55 points. And then we have Broomhandle with 53, Nip Steven with 39, Crooner 32, Sierra 32, Sir Charles, one of our reserve drivers, getting up to 28 points, and then rounding off the top 10, Blinn Machine with 26 points. So it's Bamboo's race to lose today. I think he knows what he's got to do, but it's up to the other drivers to give him a challenge, and we'll see what happens into turn 1 and into the castle section. It's going to be a little crazy first lap. Hopefully, not too many wings to be seen too.
Yeah, that's the big danger. And the danger throughout the race, these guys can't afford to make any mistakes. Even Bamboo, who on paper is the quickest, but he could have one moment or one mistake that could see him lose a wing, and then he'd have to pit and lose position. So this is going to be a bit of a war of attrition potentially. It's quite a long race, 26 laps with lap times probably above 1 minute 40 seconds during the race. So a long time for these drivers to keep up their concentration and avoid the walls.
Avoid the walls, you must, to survive this track. I've had a few races in the past, I think back on 2016, 2017 game, that just did not get along with this circuit, and halfway through the race I would just knock my wing, and once you get wing damage the first time, it's extremely easy to do it over and over and over again. So try to prolong the first amount of wing damage if possible for as long as possible. Look at that, look at the tire strategy. El Capitan, Juan, Cano, and Tafor all taking the hard tire. What do you make of that?
That's interesting that it's not even the medium, they've gone straight for the hards. And they're really gambling, I think, on there not being a safety car by going with that, because if there's a safety car on lap 1, if they were going to make a pit stop from that position, they would have to go to a softer compound, and there is no way they would be able to get to the end of the race, I think, on one of the softer compounds.
No.
Like, if there was a safety car in the first couple of laps, the hards might be the tyre that you actually wanted to pit onto. Yes. So, interesting. But they've all gone with it, so that must be, I don't know what the game suggested to them, or it must just be...
It must be.
The best alternate strategy, I suppose.
I'm just surprised that nobody even gambled on the mediums. But even if there's a safety car the first 2 laps, I mean, do you really want to take the hards all the way, 24 laps or 23 laps? Not really. So if there's a safety car with the first 2 or 3 laps, for me, I would probably do a 2-stop.
Yeah.
Look at this. We got the Renaults on the left and the lone Ferrari on the right. A little baby Ferrari in the Alpha behind him, so he's got some company. All right, all lined up, ready to go for round number 7. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix for TCR Silver Class. Lights are on, and they're out, and we're going to sit here just for a few seconds while the game readjusts itself. Who's going to make it into turn 1 first? Will they all make it alive, or will there be carnage? Lights go out, and away we go. Bamboo gets a wonderful start. Mako retains second, and there's Williams, and I think that's Rockstar just yeets it up the inside of the Renault there, but I think they get away okay and no wing damage that I saw. And going back, they all seem to make it through turn 2 cleanly, which is one of the most important corners, because you have a long stretch down into turn 3, and heavy braking here, and it's really hard to spot the braking point, and almost 3 wide down with Crooner and Sierra. Crooner tries to get the little over-under, and Williams of Wiener Drink trying to make as many places as he can. Nip Steven already up to P6, so making great use of those soft tires. Chatty, be good in the back?
Yeah, all good in the back. Everyone's being super respectful in these early stages. They really don't want to mess things up here on this first lap. And I've just seen Blinn Machine back out of a move, potentially going past Rockstar, but he thought better of it. And
oh, no!
Oh, and then as we say that...
Rockstar. Yeah, he hit the virtual safety car. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
And Tafor, what on earth just happened to Tafor?
He's got a It's got to be the
He
same
was,
thing. And
yeah, but I think he got himself into a situation where he had to come back down the hill
oh no,
to then spin his car around to go the right way. So I'm surprised Ford didn't get disqualified for driving the wrong way. But anyway.
Yeah, that's surprising he didn't. I thought he would have, given how this game is a little quirky with its penalties. Yeah, so far everybody survived though, so that's really, really good news. Oh, but look, Tafur is on the hard tires, so he's going to have to definitely do a two-stop, which is, not gone his way at the moment.
Yeah, and well, Rockstar, I can't see him going to the hards. I think, yeah, two stops probably the way to go. It did say that you can do the one stop, and there comes the pit stop strategy from AWS on my screen anyway, saying that you can take the softs about 7 laps and then take the hards the rest of the way. So that would explain why we have seen a few drivers starting on the hards, but it's not worked out for Tafur, and that has not worked out for him either, because he's just sped into the pit lane.
That's a 5-second penalty. Yeah, so things not going his way. Rockstar also into the pits, so both of them have compromised strategies already. But back under green flag racing on lap 2 of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for Silver Class. Gosh, so cool. I love that camera angle, just of the cars just going through the castle section, the rear end wanting to step out, or you see a little hint of understeer and you're thinking, oh no, they're about to crash, and they grab it at the last moment. That's so cool to see. I would love to go to a Grand Prix here in real life.
Where would you want to sit, do you think, on the track?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why don't we take a lap with Nip Steven, and because we're on the front straight here, let's take a lap with them, and we can both kind of pinpoint places where we would like to sit. Oh, look at the Williams getting super, super wide there, or not wide, but a little sideways, a little drifting action. That's crazy. I don't think I would want to sit along the front straight because it just doesn't seem that good. Oh, and look at this, side by side with the Alfa Romeo of Sierra and Crooner Renault. And Crooner decides to tuck back in, but he's going to go for it. He does not decide to lick the stamp and send it, and it looks like it's becoming a four-way battle between Sierra, Crooner, Wiener Drink, and Nip Steven. So any mistake from one of these 4 guys, and the next person's going to just try to slip through as fast as they can. Look how close they get to the walls.
Oh, and there it is. There's the mistake from Crooner.
Oh, he actually did hit the wall.
Yeah, on the inside.
Oh, dear.
And has dropped back, and does he have wing damage? Not tell yet.
I think so. He's super, super slow on the corners, and Gatne is right behind him. And Gatne is going to wish that he can get past him before the castle section, or he's going to be held up just astronomically. He's taking it super easy. Safety car.
Oh.
What happened?
So on the track map, there's a Williams, a Renault, and a Racing Point around the pit lane. But they're all
moving, though.
They're all moving. They're all racing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure why the safety car. Oh no, actually, the yellow car was the safety car. Good one. I always forget that the safety car is kind of like the Renault icon.
Yeah.
When you see it.
Yeah, I get confused by that as well. Now that we have 3 Renaults on track, it's exactly the same thing. Doesn't make any sense. So literally everybody into the pits. Well, yeah. Literally the entire field. And if you're on the soft tires, guess what tire you're going to go on to? Anybody know? Ding, 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 ding.
Whoa,
the hard tire, most likely.
Whoa, Bamboo's on the mediums.
Never mind. A lot of the field's on mediums. Okay, disregard what I just said. I'm the worst commentator in the history of F1. So sorry.
Oh, I don't know about that. that could be a discussion point all on its own.
Oh yeah. Could probably spend an entire race distance talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really interesting. Ooh, look at Juan. He accidentally put on the intermediate tire. which I don't think would be
What?
not the ideal tire to be on, but that would definitely be an adventure to take. So I'm sure he'll have an adventure before he decides to come in again and put on one of the dry compound tires.
I mean,
That's something you don't see any day, is it?
it's not going to rain, is it? It doesn't look like it.
Or he could be the, I don't know, like, yeah, there's not a
This
cloud in
could
the
be
sky.
this could be the Warrior And's strategy call of Silver Class right here.
Ooh.
You never know.
If you're one of our current viewers and you watched last Thursday's, was it last Thursday?
It was 2 weeks ago. It was the Belgian race.
2 weeks, yes. He called that strategy perfectly, didn't he?
Yep, and we were obviously teammates in the Alfa Romeos, looking at him on the hard tyres on a damp track and thinking that's a mistake. And then the safety car came in and we all piled into the pits and Warrior And's sailed off into the lead.
It was exactly like Winkelhock in the Nürburgring Grand Prix from 2011, I think, or 2012.
Yeah.
Or, no, 2008, I think, right? Or got one of those years, but
2007 it was. Yeah.
Oh 07, there you go. Got my years all wrong.
Yeah, and I actually tried to do something similar in a race I had yesterday, which was wet. And then the safety car came out, and I thought it was going to... Well, the forecast was for it to get dry, so I put the intermediates on, and it stayed heavy rain for about 10 to 15 minutes, and by the point my intermediate tyres were actually working, I lost 30 seconds, so it was a waste.
Jeez. That sounds awful.
I think Juan is back in the pits though to rectify his mistake, and he's on the medium tyres now.
Yeah.
But
Rectify
he's
his
not
mistake.
leaving his box. Oh no, he is now.
So what do you make of El Capitan and Kano on 4-lap old hard tires? Are they going to just extend as much as they can, try not to get overtaken, and put on the soft tires at the end?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
So
Who
then
knows?
what about...
They may even try and go the whole distance on these tires. You know, depends how long they can hold off the guys behind.
Well, they're still going to have to pit, though, because they haven't made their pit stop yet. Right?
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, yeah, they haven't pit. I was thinking it was. I thought Kono was one of the people who had an accident
Oh,
on the
gotcha.
first lap, but he wasn't.
Yeah. So what about
yeah,
the...
so then, yeah, of course, they will.
Yeah. Yeah. What about the medium tire runners? What about Bamboo, Sierra, Wiener Drink? Are they going to survive on the mediums, or will they have to make a second stop?
They will have to make a second stop, I'm pretty sure. But potentially, if they have another fresh set of soft tires available, then they might be able to stretch this stint out for long enough to run the softs at the end for a few laps, which might be quicker than the mediums. Because you know these laps behind the safety car are essentially 3 laps in terms of tyre wear and fuel consumption and ERS
Pretty much.
deployment.
Yeah. Tafur is trying to make his way back, though.
Yeah, so we'll probably have another lap here behind the safety car while Tafur catches back up to the pack. And I saw a couple of drivers going into the pits there, and that's
Wiener Drink and Mako.
Yeah. Oh, wing change for Mako.
I wonder
And
why
it
they
looks
didn't
like
do
a
that
5-second penalty.
last lap.
Well, I saw someone getting a 5-second penalty actually on the last lap, so I wonder if the wing damage came from that or Mako. And I don't know about Wiener Drank. Although Wiener Drank now is on the hard tyres, and now, so that is interesting. That could be
the winning
decision
strategy
from him to get to the end of the race. Yep, exactly. because we know that Wiener Drank is quick.
Yeah,
and
these tires can definitely make it now.
Yeah.
So he's going to be competing directly against Nip Steven and Kruner because they're on 1 lap old hard tires, just 1 lap older than Wiener Drink. I'm not sure if that makes a huge difference in the scheme of hard tire life. I wouldn't think so. So he'll be trying to chase those guys down since he should be up. I mean, that's a good benchmark to have.
Yeah. And he's got 4 cars separating him and Kruner, who is the closest driver to him, who is on fresh hards. So
yeah,
that's going to be his aim, to try and get past those guys as quickly as possible. But we know that Fire Up Flow is a pretty handy driver, and Rockstar as well did a decent job in qualifying, so that's not going to be an easy task.
Yes. Yeah, those drivers are not going to want to give up their positions. So hold on to your seats, and this is going to get a little exciting because we have some hard tire runners on some older, have some older life, and then compared to some medium tire runners that are on fresh mediums. So this first lap could get a little hairy.
You can see El Capitan really backing up the pack here on the straight, and Syrah's
on
basically
alongside
alongside Bamboo. He just overtook him for a second. But we're back underway.
Syrah sends it around the outside.
Past.
That's amazing. Ooh, Bamboo gets really, really squirrely on the exit of turn 1.
Oh, and right behind him, Nip Steven and Got Any Weave going side by side.
Nice job. That was awesome to see that through turn 1. That was really clean, and wheels almost touching. And now still side by side down into turn 3. And Nip Steven breaks just a little bit later, and Got Any Weave's going to have to give that up. Really, really good racing and battling, though. That was great to see.
Look at Blin as well.
Wow. Kruner was trying to sneak past Blin just for a second.
And now Syrah is right on the tail of Kono. So that's a really interesting moment in the race, to see Syrah overtaking Bamboo. We haven't really seen that happen to Bamboo for a while. To have someone challenging him like that on track. Oh, and there's a Mercedes off Nip Steven.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just spinning himself back around, though, down into almost P15 as it is. And I'm not really sure what happened, though. It's got to be on the exit of turn, that tight castle section. Is wanting to get past to 4, but he's not going to be able to with that wing damage. It's crazy. Crazy stuff.
There's a couple of corners around here where the exit is really slippery. More so than you probably expect it to be.
Yes.
And that turn was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I was going to say that turn there, the exit of turn 2 is also slippery. Some other corners, but yeah, I definitely agree. Look at Mako, though, trying to decide which way to go, around the outside or inside of Rockstar. And makes the move, and the Williams almost goes into the wall. That was quite close. And that was not a Force India, Racing Point. And slight contact there, turns in a little bit too early. So some good battling down here in the latter part of the field. His driver's just not letting go.
Syrah and Bamboo have both got ahead of Kono as well. So Syrah up to second and hassling the Ferrari of El Capitan for the lead of the race. And Bamboo is right there with them as well. Syrah getting really racy, and he's going to try and move into basically the hairpin, and he's done it. And El Capitan and Bamboo almost going side by side into the castle section, but Bamboo backed out of it.
I was experiencing something extremely similar with Juan and Wiener Drink, and that was side by side, overs and unders for about 5 or 6 or 7 corners in a row. It was really, really good to see. So it looks like Kano. Well, okay, so Bamboo got past Kano, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
But now Sira has El Capitan between himself and Bamboo, and that could give him an opportunity to pull away once we get back to green flag racing.
You talk about a DRS train. Look at this. I think Crooner all the way down to Wiener Drink. Oh, and Fire Flow into the pits. Crooner in the pits. Got any Weeba in the pits. What is going on here? 4 laps. That is... What's going on? Do you know?
Wing changes for Fire.
Oh, the Alpha Tauri boys.
Oh, the Alpha Tauris. Double stacked.
That is gonna... Oof, that is painful. Painful for Fire Upflow. That is not good.
And they both had a wing change. Crooner had a wing change. And those are some of the quicker drivers in Silver Class.
Bamboo going around the outside of the Ferrari. Sorry to cut you off there in the really tight section before the castle. And there's a little bit of contact. I'm not sure if Bamboo got any damage, but he had to give up the position to the Ferrari. He got past for a second, but couldn't hold the momentum. I'm surprised he actually went for that. He must be getting really, really impatient. This is the first time I've really seen Bamboo get really this aggressive and stick into the back of somebody, especially on a track like this, on only lap 9 out of 26. So a little interesting to see.
Well, look at the gap Sira has over El Capitan already.
Yeah.
This is costing Bamboo the race.
This is. He's got to be careful. He's on the... I mean, he does not have to be this close going into this long straight here. He has plenty of time till the end. He doesn't want to catch him too early because, you know, any slight movement wrong could push him into the walls, but he's done brilliantly to keep that. And this is going to be a very easy DRS overtake. And he'll have the move done well before turn 1.
Yeah, I actually thought that they wouldn't have DRS, but of course it was only a virtual safety car, not a full safety car, so
yeah,
DRS was enabled straight away. And now it's Kono and Lim Machine and Mako and Rockstar even.
Yeah.
they're all pretty close together.
Some really, really good racing. Very, very close racing. Looks like El Capitan ran really, really wide, and is Kono going to try to go around the outside, and the other Ferrari just rams Blinn into the back, and Blinn has wing damage as well, so this has gone horribly wrong for Blinn, and who was that again? Was that Mako?
Yeah,
This
it was
is
Mako,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. So Blinn's going to have to pit for a new wing. Lots of wing changes today.
Yeah, no surprises though in that.
Yeah. Kono just smacked the wall. I don't know if he got any wing damage though.
I don't think he did. I think that was... Yeah, he's okay. Well, visually it looks okay, but again, it could be one of those where, you know, he's actually got a slightly different shade of green on the front wing.
Yes.
Where you can't see the damage, but you do lose downforce.
So Bamboo is now on his way to hunt down Sira. But if I'm Sira, I'm really enjoying this drive right now. This is a fantastic drive by him to be leading the Grand Prix here. It looks like Mako is in the pits. So it seems like these medium tire runners that, I mean, we thought would have to pit again. Well, we were right in that assessment because they are having to pit again, but for wing damage and having to put on the hard tires, so they're definitely at a disadvantage. You know, yeah, it's not necessarily the pace that you have, but I think the consistency and keeping it out of the walls that will grant you a good result here.
Yeah, definitely. You could be seconds a lap slower than someone, you know, who maybe like a Bamboo or a Nip Steven who you would expect to be at the front. But as long as you keep it safe and tidy, you could find yourself ending up on the podium in a race like this. Tafur leaves, that's no surprise. He was having a bit of a shocker at the back.
Yeah. Tough day in the office for Tafur and the Racing Point team. So as we start to, or almost begin lap 12 out of 26, just under halfway, I think now is the time where the attrition starts to set in. You know, you've kind of opened the gaps up. You're not really racing wheel to wheel anymore. You're kind of gap battling in a sense. But this is where you really got to stay focused. You can't get distracted by, you know, this and that. Got to nail your apexes, nail your exits. Not make any sudden movements or, you know, sudden moves. As God, who is that in the back? Wiener Drink, or I think Wiener Drink getting a little loose. Exit to turn 1. But this is the game now, you know. So survival of, what did you say earlier, Chatty? Attrition or something?
Yeah, a war of
attrition.
A battle or a war of attrition.
Yeah.
Something else that's interesting at this point is that I'm pretty sure the top 5 are all going to have to hit again. And so the man who we have sort of spoke about, the new driver in Silver Class, who has got off to an impressive start and is in a pretty strong position right now, is Wienerdring, who in 6th place is on 5-lap-old hard tyres, which we would expect to get him to the end of the race. And he's actually just been overtaken by Blynn's safety car. Why is that?
Looking. Nobody seems to be stopped. Is this a glitch?
I think this is a glitch, yeah.
But look, Wiener Drink. You were
Wiener Drink's out of the race.
Oh my goodness. I did not expect that. Oh God, that was close.
Is he? I guess he's not ghosted people behind, so they actually have to.
Yeah. Oh, good. Maybe that was ghosted. I think the Mercedes even literally went through him. Wow, this is a change of events, isn't it? 2 safety cars, and look, everybody's barreling into the pits. I would be too if I was them. Put on a fresh set of medium tires. Bamboo's done that. El Capitan's done that. Kano's done that. Sierra's done that. Rockstar is probably going to do that, but he's waiting for his pit crew to arrive. Oh, there he is. Never mind, that was just a glitch.
Sierra got any weeb. Oh, Sierra.
Did he get...
That was one of those interesting situations where, you know, the safety car's out, so you can't really race each other, but Sierra was coming out of the pits, and Gottlieb Weeb was out on the track.
Oh.
And for a moment it looked as though they might be side by side.
Yeah, I missed that, unfortunately. Those are always little fun to duel out.
As either his internet connection. Sierra lost the lead to Bamboo in that pit stop because of the 5-second penalty he had from earlier.
Gotcha. If he didn't have that, he probably would have retained P1, you think? Do you need to invite, by the way?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Safety car is not a bad time.
Yeah, that's true. It's not terrible, right?
Yeah, cheers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as I was thinking that my internet was actually doing quite well so far.
Yeah, I hope you get that sorted. It must be pretty annoying to have internet just cut out randomly.
Yeah, and it literally cuts, I don't know, a few seconds and then it's back and it's totally fine, but in the time that it's down I just lose connection to everything.
Yeah, it can be a little annoying. So when the safety car comes in, we'll have around 11 laps to go. something like that.
Yeah.
So it's a sprint to the finish. It's like a 10-lapper. Rather than a 5-lapper, a 10-lapper. But in Baku, of course, anything can happen. Man, that is a real shame that Wiener Drink DNF'd. Just talking about him and how well he was doing, and yeah,
Yeah.
lost a wing. Then
Curse.
yeah. Every time we talk about a driver, they end up with bad luck.
Well, literally the moment I mentioned him, he got overtaken by a Blinn machine, and I don't know if that was.
I think that was because he hit the wall.
Yeah. Sira again, looking like he wants to overtake Bamboo behind the safety car.
Well, I mean, he can,
I wonder if we...
but he's gonna get a pretty hefty penalty.
Yep. C quit in Belgium 2 weeks ago to find out how that will end up. You get disqualified from the race.
Oh yeah. Or it could end up like Sequid and I think Shani Boy or something from Bahrain, Platinum class last season, round 1. If you remember that incident.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh god, that's all you need to know. Oh god. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
I just remember seeing the Discord after all that and the lengthy discussion about that incident. Fun times.
You talk about a book being written, there it is. Well, at least the drivers get a little mental break. But obviously they'll have to reset once the safety car comes in. They'll have to really, really lock it in and focus. They don't want to. Bennett, like Mako almost just did into turn 17 or 16. Almost forgot to turn. And we'll have the DRS train, so if the drivers don't make any mistakes in the middle part of the track, we'll have quite the entertainment going down the front straight. Hopefully no Verstappen-Ricardo incidents, but you never know.
Yeah, and this is effectively a sprint race now, but well, for strategic reasons anyway, no one needs to pit.
And we are
just
going. We're going.
Yep.
Cero tried to get a jump on Bamboo, but did not. And later in the field, who is that? That is Rockstar against El Capitan. El Capitan breaks really, really late, and is he going to make the corner? Loses a few positions trying to make it through, but he does. And Kano now looking to look at Blinn Machine, just sends it up the inside of El Capitan. So good on Blinn for making that pass. The two Ferraris almost side by side down the straight into turn 3. Blinn is jinxing left and right, trying to find out which way he wants to go around Kano, but Kano shuts the door and retains P5 for the time being. So far, so good, though.
Nip Steven in typical Nip Steven style, making a double overtake on Nico John, and I think it was Juan in the Racing Point as well. Into turn 1, they were 3 wide momentarily, but Nip Steven managed to get around the outside of both of them and is now facing both
the
Ferraris.
Ferrari!
Oh, and Mako!
Lost
and that'll be wing damage.
Pretty much the entire wing of his right side and almost hits another wall. Avoids Nip Steven barely. He's going to have to be very, very, very careful here because he's going to have cars overtaking at strange spots like Nico John there and also Juan, and it's going to end in tier. Oh, there's more wing damage, and that was
Nico John.
Nico John, yeah. Oh, and Kruner's there too, almost making it 3 wide in Kruner's round. That was a very optimistic move, and a little too optimistic as he's completely clobbered the wall and lost out massively in that little scrap. God, but I mean, multiple times we've seen it with Kruner being overly optimistic on dive bombs and moves and trying to stick his car into a space where it should not be. So, and here we see it done right with Gottny Weeb and Rockstar going side by side through turn 1, extremely close, but luckily no contact. So many people in the pits too, look at that.
Yeah. And the disconnected car of Tafor is in the points at the moment. He's in 10th.
What?
Yeah, because of all the guys that have pitted behind him.
Oh, Lord.
So that'll be interesting if he can hang on to that. Probably not. Now, oh, and Kono just grazed the wall.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm getting really, really good camera shots tonight. Spectre mode. Oh, look at the Blue Machine getting past Kano, going side by side, and that's really, really close. That's really, really close. Oh no,
Oh.
Blinn! That was, oh man, that was really, really, that was such a hard hit. Ouch.
It was, and Kono did exactly the same thing behind him.
We'll talk about them being overly aggressive. Holy moly. And look at the Ferrari of El Capitan right behind. Does not want to go too fast. He's going to rear end these guys going full throttle. Oh man, what a change of events for a lot of these guys. Yeah, Blinn in the pits. Kano into the pits. Well, looks like Tafor's going to gain a few more spots.
Yeah. Well, he's just moved.
Oh,
yeah, he's in 9th already because Juan is also.
Well, he's in P7 now.
So, yeah. The AI is of Tafor having a great race all of a sudden.
This reminds me of back last year in quarantine, where Lando Norris had his bot, his AI racing, and actually I think scored a point or something in the race.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. It's like Lando bot.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was good stuff. That kept us entertained during the not normal, lockdown.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Mercedes and Ferrari going wheel to wheel, quite literally touching wheels through the corner, through turn 3. Mako comes up on top. Sorry, no, Kano comes out on top.
Rockstar is currently within DRS range of Syrah in the battle for 2nd place, and they're just coming up to the front stretch. I think DRS has been enabled, and if it has, yeah, he is going to get DRS Rockstar on the back of the Alfa Romeo, but I don't know if he's close enough to do anything going into turn 1. He might have to try and set himself up for a move at the end of turn 3 as Syrah goes a little bit wide, and that allows Rockstar to get a bit closer. So he needs to get a good exit here, and that's not the best.
Not quite. Thought he did, but then it just stepped out a little bit.
Yeah, it's a difficult curb on the inside of turn 2. If you catch that a bit too hard, then it gets a bit of a bumpy ride, and the traction is very difficult to find once you do hit that curb.
It's pretty intense just sitting on board, helpless. You can't, you can't tell him to steer more, you can't, take your wheel and actually turn it more. And this is, right here through the castle section. Oof.
Yeah, it's probably for the best that Formula 1 games don't have VR support. It would be quite a scary experience, I think.
Yeah, cool experience, but yeah, scary. Look at Rockstar taking all the curb compared to Sierra, who took literally no curb. Now, I don't know if Rockstar got a warning for that or anything, but we are running strict corner cutting tonight.
I think you can run that curb quite severely.
That's
probably more than you should be allowed to.
Yeah.
But DRS once again for the Williams, and Syrah's able to be quick enough in the right spots at the moment to hold on.
Yeah, he does. I think Sierra has some good downforce levels, meaning that he has low downforce levels to run a higher top speed on the straights and keep the guys behind him at bay.
Yeah, and the gap to Bamboo is pretty consistent now at around 3.5 seconds, so not that we can say that Syrah is slow by any means. He's actually closed that gap down slightly, so good pace from these guys that we're seeing here.
Really good pace, and none of these guys, well, except for Bamboo, Sierra and Rockstar have not finished on the podium, I believe. So this would be the first time visit to a podium. Safety car!
And Blim Machine has just destroyed his car.
What happened?
That was at the end of, well, that's the runoff area at the end of turn 3. I don't know what happened to him before, but that was a rage quit from Blin, definitely.
Was he battling with anybody?
I think he was close to Nip Steven, but I didn't see what happened. Again, it was one of those, I joined just as his car was going down the escape road, but it was going down the escape road at full speed.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. I've also just seen Mako, Fire Up Flow, and Crooner like trade positions under the safety car. Because I think, you have to keep that delta. And I think it was just kind of messed up or something, so they were all trying to like slow down drastically really, really fast to not get any penalties. I think they avoided that. Or maybe Crooner got a penalty, because I see the little flag thing next to his name. Oops.
I think he might have had that already. I think he's had that for a few laps.
Gotcha.
But no one's pitting for a set of softs here.
No, Nico John might. He's in the pits. Tough 4 might.
Yep.
Nip Steven is as well. Everybody's pitting. Now this is going to be a true 5-lapper, a true sprint to the end. You thought we saw wing damage before. Well, just wait. Mercedes are double stacking. Kano's not going to be very happy. So some people, get this, Crooner has made 5 pit stops. 5. Nip Steven has just made his 5th pit stop. Mako has just also made his 5th pit stop. 1. And Tafor, the Racing Point boys, and Fireflow have made 4 pit stops. This is madness. We've never seen this before.
And bearing in mind what you just said about it basically being a 5-lapper now, don't be surprised if we see a couple more once we get back to racing again.
Yeah, we might see a record-breaking 6 pit stops or 7 pit stops. I don't know what the record is. You would imagine 7, because that's typically what the record is 7 championships here and 7 world titles there, and yeah, all that. Guiding Weeb, though, is risking it all. 10-lap-old hard tires. Staying out.
Yeah, and to be fair to him, he's got a few guys behind him who could kind of act as a buffer to the soft tire runners that are, from 8th position downwards now. So that might for him.
Do you know what I would have done, though? Because there was such a gap between El Capitan and Fire Up Flow. There used to be something like 15 or 16 seconds. If I was in front of them like Gotney Weeb, or even Sierra or Rockstar or whatever, I would have pitted for soft tires if they had a fresh set. Because I think even with 4 or 5 laps, these guys are going to get killed by the soft tire runners behind them. I mean, if you want some drama, this is the way to line them up. Put the soft tire runners in the back and put the medium, the hard tire runners on old tires in the front at Baku and see what happens. I think this is what we're about to see.
Yeah. It's... the potential for carnage is very high right now, I feel.
Yeah, me too.
And shout out actually to El Capitan, because we're mentioning about the guys who have done 5 stops. El Capitan is the only driver out there who has only pitted once so far. And he's currently in 5th place. So, for all the guys behind who have been in and out for wing changes every 5 laps or so, El Capitan has done a really nice job of staying away from all of that and it's earned him a place in the top 5 as it stands, and he doesn't have... I was just going to check that he didn't have any wing damage, that he was just, enduring and lasting out, but no, he looks to have a full front wing. So yeah, kudos to El Capitan for that one.
Yes. He's done a great job. And if there was less safety cars, I think we'd benefit even more, possibly, from having to make less stops. But of course, some of the stops that drivers have made tonight have been because of safety cars, and they've taken the opportunity to. Just not a problem. So, hey, let's take this time and thank our affiliate sponsor, Fanatec, since we are under safety car and can do that. But yeah, if you're looking for any Fanatec gear, a lot of our drivers here in TCR do race with Fanatec equipment. Use the link in the description below and take you to website and get yourself a new wheelbase and wheel and pedals. It's really, really good stuff. But yeah, we do thank our sponsor Fanatec for all their support and for that affiliation as well. Before we also go green flag racing, Golden Class is tomorrow night. That is our second tier here in TCR, and Platinum Class. You'll be seeing me and Chatty race in the Alfa Romeo on Thursday. Same time, same place, and I think we're just about to go green flag racing again for the last 5 laps. It is a 5-lap sprint here in Baku, and it's gonna be a good one. I'm trying to find a decent camera angle here. Good God. Down into turn 1, Sierra right behind Bamboo. Maybe thinking about setting up an overtake into turn 2 or turn 3. And already position changes to 4. His ghosted car actually making a position, or losing a position actually, to Nip Steven.
Yeah, Nip Steven's going to be the man to watch, I think.
Yes.
For the remainder of this race, he's the driver leading the charge on the softs.
Mako wing damage. Ran into the back of the Haas of Nico John. I think that was just a miscalculation with the Ferrari driver, Mako.
Froome has made a mistake, and not Bamboo, sorry, Nip Steven diving down the inside.
That was crazy.
And straight onto the back of Fire Up Flow. Oh my goodness. I think Nip Steven will have the quote from Ayrton Senna about, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're not a racing driver, on his wall in his room. The last thing he sees at night.
Before he goes to bed, yeah, he has like probably a huge banner or a huge flag or something with that written on, watch the wall. If I had to bet on it, I think he's going to get top 5, maybe. Top 3.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I think he can certainly get up to 4th place, which is where Gottlieb Weeb is at the moment, because he's very close behind Fire Up Flow and El Capitan, and Gottlieb Weeb is on pretty old hard tyres, so he's going to be pretty defenceless by the time that Steven gets there, although he's lost a lot of time.
He didn't use any ERS.
Stretch. Oh, did he not? Okay.
Yeah.
He's caught back up now, and Fire Up Flow went deep into turn 2. And that is going to be P6 for Nip Steven.
Yeah, nice job by the Mercedes driver. Next up, El Capitan. And look at that, already on the back of him. He might even make a move into this corner, which is turn 5, I think. Is he going to hold around the outside? No, he thinks better of it, and that's ballsy. Good God. That's a bit aggressive.
Yeah, I hope El Capitan didn't get any damage from that.
Yeah, I hope not either.
And Nip Steven has set that up quite nicely, actually, to
beautifully
go through on the exit.
I think El Capitan does have some damage. I see some wing damage on his left side. So he's going to be holding up Fire Up Flow and Crooner and Mako. And, well, Mako does have some damage, but he's going to bunch everybody up before the front straight. And look at Juan making his way around Nico John. So Juan trying to salvage something, trying to salvage a point or two, if he can.
So I need to stop praising drivers or saying that they're in with a chance, because I think I've cursed El Capitan and also Wiener Drank.
Yeah, that's two today. Hey, you're past your quota.
Yeah.
Kano trying to go around the outside of Mako. Kano's got to realize that the Ferrari has wing damage. Oh god, that almost ended up like Perez and Ocon.
Yeah, and that's also our first 3-second penalty of the race, I believe. Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Greener's is a 5 seconds, so taking 24 laps.
Yeah, we made it though.
And here's Nip Steven on got any weave, but he's on the outside. Oh, he's gone for it anyway.
Oh god.
Got any weave, late braking.
Oh,
and he
my goodness.
barely holds on.
He's clinging on. Nip Steven could not get any closer to Got Weave. They were literally locked. And I know there's Haas, that's Nico John, stuck in the castle. Or not in the castle, but at the castle. Now this should be a pretty easy overtake by Nip Steven on the front straight.
Yep, definitely.
I mean, look at that. Got Weave has done a tremendous job keeping those 14-lap old hard tires still in check. I mean, still retaining P4 until about probably a few seconds from now. But that's a really, really nice job. I think he's one of the drivers of the day. With all the things that have gone on to, hold on to that position. Although his teammate Fire Up Flow is right behind him, and I remember, was it Fire Up Flow that got held up behind his teammate in the pits and has had kind of a weird race? So he's made his way back up to P6. So those drivers always stick out in my mind as guys who really can drive a race smartly and well.
Rockstar has just overtaken Syrah. He's up to second place now. Syrah's sticking with him, but there's no way to overtake through this section. And Syrah would be well advised to have a peek in his rear view mirror, I think, now, because
Nip Steven is
there. Yep. On those fresh softs, and Nip Steven just almost drifting the car through the top of the castle section. That was extraordinary to see the way he was controlling the car through there.
Check this out. I'm watching the Ferrari and the Crooner battle. This is extremely tight right now.
Oh yeah. The Ferrari sandwich.
Yeah. Syrah, I just went to him. He's drifting through the last little kink before the front straight. My goodness. And look at this. He's about to set up an overtake on Rockstar. Rockstar going extremely defensive all to the left-hand side. Syrah goes right. Rockstar goes left. Into turn one. They go side by side. And Syrah seems like he's going to get the position. It's not over yet. I think it is over. Rockstar are going to try to get DRS and trying to maybe repay the favor. Look at that, really deploying all of his ERS. Syrah doing the same thing. And I don't think there's enough space for Rockstar to send it, and he drives into the wall himself. That's very strange. So Syrah, it's going to be a last lap gasp to retain P2. Hopefully these guys don't do anything, dumb, and hopefully they keep the podium, because this is a fantastic result and fantastic driving.
Oh, the Ferraris have crashed!
Oh god, are you serious?
Oh, Mako was going for a move down the inside of El Capitan in turn 4 when it wasn't really on, and El Capitan was just closing the door, as I feel he had the right to do in that situation, and yeah, El Mako just spun him around. And actually,
they're still in the points though, right?
Yeah, they're still 9th and 10th, and I don't.
Oh my
damn
goodness!
It! Oh no, actually, El Capitan does have quite a bit of damage there.
This is a crazy battle here between Syrah and Nip Steven. And I don't know if Sierra got DRS, but he's going to have to use everything he's got to retain the podium here. Nip Steven gets extremely slidey and drifty on the last corner exit. He's not going to have enough. Yeah, look at this. That's really, really cool to see.
Quite close to the back
Oh.
of Nip Steven across the line, but no.
Oh, Capitan, he DNF'd. What happened? I thought he was going to finish P10.
Oh, has he binned it? Him and Kono, I think, have binned it.
Binned it? What do you mean binned it? Where did they bin it?
I didn't see it, but they're in that fast chicane that I was talking about, way back at the start of the stream, where I'm gonna guess that they were trying to go side by side through there, which is very difficult to do.
Yeah, there was too many battles to watch towards the end. I really wanted to watch everything. I wish I could have seen what happened to Kano and what's his face, El Capitan, right?
Yeah.
That could have been easy 1 point for one of them.
Well, I think El Capitan is technically 10th.
Well, I guess, yeah, technically.
Finishing the race, because he did more than, I don't know, 90% or whatever it is, so he technically is a lap down, and yeah, 10th place for El Capitan.
Well, you talk about a war of attrition. I think that's evidence of it. A lot of drivers, a few drivers did not make it to the end, had a few DNFs, and the ball's taking some of our F1 drivers. But at the end of the day, it was Bamboo for the win. Rockstar with, I think, his first ever TCR podium in P2, and I think Sierra also for his first ever TCR podium. I'd have to check on that, but I think it is for those two guys, so congrats to them. Nip Steven, Fire Up Flow, Gatnui, Mako, Kruner, Tafor, and El Capitan rounding off the top 10. What a pretty dramatic and battle-filled race.
Yeah, too much to keep up with, really.
Yeah, there was quite a lot.
This is the sort of time when we could use some replays, I think, to be able to go back and see what was going on.
Yeah. Whoops, wrong button.
So I'm just gonna get our podium boys in.
Yeah.
See what they made of it all.
Who do you want to start with first? Bamboo or who finished third? Sierra? Yeah, Sierra.
Yeah, Sierra and also Rockstar's the other one. So I've invited Bamboo. I'm just doing Rockstar at the moment, and then it will be
Rockstar's
Sierra.
Williams, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey. Welcome
Hello.
back once again.
Hello.
He sounds tired, Shaddy.
I'm not surprised.
I wonder why.
Why
would he be so tired? You know, he's just only driven 26 or 28 laps around Baku. It's no big deal.
Yeah. So we have Bamboo and Rockstar. I guess we'll get going and see if Sierra joins.
Yeah.
He had a red X next to his name when I invited him, so I don't know if he'll be joining us. But we will start with our winner, Bamboo, in the Renault. Once again, the victor. Congratulations! Another pole position and victory for yourself, and obviously extending your lead in the championship. Things were pretty hectic out there, to say the least, but I think it might have been a bit more of a quiet race for you at the front there. Is that true, or was there some drama for you as well?
Honestly, complicated race today. You know, a lot of safety car to manage. I think so. We did like 50% of the race under the safety car today. So
Wow.
it's just a lot of manage today. So nothing else, honestly.
Yeah, well, I remember there was one stage when you were overtaken by Syrah on the safety car restart, and then Syrah was pulling away from you while you were stuck behind El Capitan, I think it was, and he'd pulled out a sort of 3 second lead at that stage. He did have a 5 second penalty, but still, did you? What were your thoughts at that point?
Not because I know we have more 15 lap to do, I think so. So honestly, my priority when I am in the traffic, it's take my time for the nice overtake, and I don't want broke my front wing today, so it's I'm like, okay, I prefer take 1 or 2 more laps for overtake and keep my car intact. So
Yeah,
it's
good
good.
idea.
Yep, smart approach. 007, do you have anything?
No, I don't. No, that like Bamboo said, just about managing everything today, and you can even wait a little longer to make an overtake, and I think that was one of the keys today to the win or to a podium or to a good result. Um, so congratulations, Bamboo, and I'm sure we'll see you hopefully back in the top three next week at uh,
Russia, I think so.
where? Russia?
Russia, well, maybe,
Oh
probably.
God. Maybe. We will see you at whatever track is next week. How about that?
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, so next up, as we say again, congratulations to Bamboo. In second place was Rockstar, the Williams driver, who had a good little battle with Syrah towards the end of the race, as we saw. So congratulations on P2, and how did you find that little battle towards the end, and also the race as a whole with all the safety cars and incidents that were going on out there today?
Yeah.
How were you able to sort of compose yourself after you made that mistake on the first lap when you hit the wall in the castle section? Because it would have been so easy after that to, lose lose your cool and get stuck in more incidents on such a tight track. So how did you manage that mentally? Double O 007, do you have any questions?
Uh, let's see. Yeah, your battle, which Chatty and you already kind of talked about, but your battle at the very end. Do you think that Nip Steven, or is I think STX or whatever it is, Do you think him catching Sierra at the end kind of helped you kind of maintain that position, that P2 on the final lap? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, man, good job today. Really, really good showing, and good to see the Williams up there and the podium. So hope you can bring it up again and be on the podium a few more times this season. But congrats from me. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well done. So next up we have Syrah, although I think I can see in the party at the moment that... Oh no, he's here. He
He's
was
here.
muted, but he's here now. So Syrah, well, congratulations, P3. Good qualifying from you as well today. And as we've kind of said, pretty crazy race with all the safety cars and incidents that were going on. But how was it for you out there today?
It was it was fine, but it was just like the battle at the end. I feel like I could have passed him at the line, but the Mercedes tried to pass me, and I had to give him space.
Yeah, I think I saw because I was on board with Nip Steven, and I saw
Hmm.
him put a lot of pressure on you, and I think you didn't get quite a good exit. I think out of either turn 3 or turn 2, or like the last corner before the front straight. I think
Yeah.
it was the last or the second to last corner or something, and weren't able to maximize that DRS to repass Rockstar.
Hmm. But it was just a mess today. With all the
Yeah,
safety cars and virtual, it was a mess.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
definitely.
quite a lot of safety cars and all that.
Oh.
With with all the safety cars though, and here's my last question, but with all the safety cars, did that kind of like mess you up a little bit with your strategy? Did it kind of like distract you a little bit, or were you still able to focus on the
Yeah,
race?
it was distracting, yeah, but the only thing that messed me up was the 5 second penalty that I had.
Right. Yeah, you were doing quite well with that, or if you didn't have to take that, you would have been right up there.
Yeah, I did fine. I was just spinning the tires too much.
Nice. Chad, you got anything?
No, I think that's everything. But yeah, good job on the podium. We'll see you up there a few more times. I think you've been having a decent run lately in qualifying and in these races. So yeah, good to will be good to potentially see you getting some more good results.
Yep, thank you.
Not a problem, man. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Oh man, I forgot to change the car again. I got two of them this time. I got the Renault and I got the Williams, but I forgot the Alfa Romeo. Sorry, Sarah. Well, he's already gone, but I'll try to do better next time. How's that? I might get at one of these days. I might get all three cars showing for the podium finishers, at least by round 12, at least by the last round. Anyway, that was quite a fun race. So join us back tomorrow for Golden Class, and then Thursday for Platinum Class, and hopefully me and Chatty will have a better result than last week, because last week, well, we'll never want to speak about that again. It was quite bad. But hopefully this Thursday is a bit better, and then next Tuesday we are at Russia, we think. Not quite sure, but if so, we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you at wherever we're going to be. And that'll be for round number 8 of our 12 race season. So with that, thank you again to all of our viewers tonight, all of our Silver Class drivers, all of our TCR drivers, TCR officials, stewards, and commentators for making TCR work. It's been great again with you, Chatty, just as always, and I'm sure we'll be seeing each other in the booth again next Tuesday. So with that, thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful night. See you guys next time.